Good evening, everybody. It's April Davis PI. It's August 13th, 2026. Yeah, if you guys were watching me earlier, I did a live video. In fact, I've done about 4 of them on the Perez Hilton situation. I wasn't sure if I should do today's live on that or if I should make a long form content type of video. So far, I've only got the live or the live streams up on that. You know, for those of you who haven't watched my lives, let me state that I do not know Perez in person, although a few years ago, him and I did a small number of lives together on his platform. I think it was his Instagram. And I have to say that, he's always been extremely kind to me. I was aware of some of the past indiscretions that apparently happened more than 20 years ago. I knew about some of the celebrity outings. No, I'm not okay with that. I've since learned a lot more about basically some of his victims over the years. But the man that I've always known since I've watched him since he's been a dad is definitely a changed man. I adore Perez Hilton. I adore his children and his mom. I don't know much about his sister other than she runs his empire, and kudos to her. She has apparently spoken out this week to Page 6, and I think it's important. I just think it's important that we listen to anything that the official website says or anything that she says, even if it's through another publication. And apparently she did a long phone interview with page6.com. And I'm not going to go over the whole thing here, but if you have been watching the lives or you didn't see today's live, it's really important that we get this statement out. But once again, even though I am one of those people that believes in karma, I've never said on any of my videos or any of my lives like, hey, he deserved this and his kids deserve this because it's karma. No, I would never say that. I am fully supportive. I hope that he recovers. I'm sorry for all the people that were victimized in the past. I wasn't fully aware. I've learned so much since this tragedy happened. But I am pulling for him. If you're out there, Perez, and you ever can hear this, I love you, man. I throw my loving arms around you. And especially for those kids, I worry about them actually the most. Let me just go over her statement really quick. And, it is what it is. But well wishes. Just let me make that very clear. On August 4th, let's start that again. August 4th will forever be one of the darkest days my family and I have ever experienced. Barbara Lavandiera told Page 6 exclusively in a phone call on Wednesday, referring to the evening Hilton livestream acts of self-harm on TikTok before being transported to a hospital near his Miami home for life-saving treatment. This afternoon, Mario was in his bedroom with the door closed and locked, which wasn't like him. Lavandiera said of her brother, whose real name is Mario Armando Lavandiera Jr., I hope I'm not butchering that last name. I apologize, Perez, if I am. His door was almost always open. Hilton 48 stopped responding to her when she tried to check in, prompting Lavandiera, who was visiting from California, to become concerned. When I knocked, he said he was fine, but I could barely hear him. After I knocked a few more times and asked him to open the door, he stopped responding. I tried calling his cell phone in case he couldn't hear me, but he wouldn't answer. Something just felt wrong. Yeah. I unlocked his bedroom door and realized he was inside the bathroom. I knocked several more times and told him I was going to come in if he didn't open the door. He still didn't answer, so I unlocked it. Lavandiera then recounted the devastating moment she realized something was terribly wrong as she came face to face with her brother. When I opened the door, my nightmare became reality. Mario was standing in front of the shower, naked. It's hard to say this. Cut up. I will just say covered in bodily fluid. I don't want to say the word. With a box cutter in his hand. It was a moment she will never be able to erase from her memory. I just saw a clip of the TikTok thing, and I wish I had never seen that. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, just about. What I can say with certainty is that I didn't recognize my brother when I looked at him. I saw it in his eyes. They didn't look the same. Then a split second later, he smiled at me. I felt like I was staring at someone else. Yeah, I felt that way too when I saw the 20 to 30 second TikTok clip. Just don't watch the video, folks. In a total panic, Lavandiera fled the bathroom and quickly led Hilton's 3 children, Mario 13, Mia 11, and Maite 8, out of the house. Now, I've also heard in reports that her niece was in the house, but she does not address that situation in this latest statement. She said, I left the room, grabbed the car keys, and yelled for the kids to run to the car. Thankfully, our mom wasn't home at that time, and I was able to get everybody out quickly. Yeah, I didn't think that Mama Perez was home at the time. She said once the children were safely in the car, Lavandiera dialed 911. Thank you, Barbara, for doing so. And I agree that getting the children out of the house first was the top priority. The first call I made was to the police. Then I messaged my best friend who lives nearby while I was on with dispatch and asked her to please come get the kids and take them away from the scene, she said. While much more happened in the hours that followed, Lavandiera, who is an extremely close relationship with her older brother, said she is going to leave out many of the specific details because they are too painful, graphic, and overwhelming. Oh, I'm going to try not to cry here. As we know, Hilton left loved ones and fans horrified when he shared live footage to TikTok of him injuring himself. I did not see the TikTok, but I did see a clip, and I never want to see that for as long as I live. Never see it again. Lavandiera continued to page 6. Eventually, I was able to go back into the house while I waited for the ambulance and placed towels over Mario to help stop the bleeding. He had already lost a significant amount yet he was somehow able to still speak, although his voice was very faint. Lavandiera explained why she bravely chose to open up to page 6 about the harrowing details of that horrific day. This makes me so sad, everybody. I've debated for the past few days whether I should share anything personally, she said. Mario has always been an open book. He's a public personality and someone who has shared so much of his life online. That is true. She continued, as his younger sister, I am the opposite. I am a very private person, and although I've worked with him for many years, I've always stayed behind the scenes. True. There's hardly any pictures of her anywhere on the internet. I think I've only ever seen 2 in my life. As the only person who witnessed what happened from the beginning to the end, Lavandiera said she feels she is the only person who can offer some clarity since so much has happened. I'm talking now for everyone who cares about him and has been sending their best wishes, but also because of all the rumors, false reporting, fake exclusives, and made-up quotes going around. I can only share what I personally witnessed and experienced, but I want people to hear directly from someone who was actually there. Yeah, I think that's important. Lavandiera took a moment to shut down the misconceptions about Hilton's character, sharing that he is not the same person he was more than 2 decades ago when he launched his controversial website. I agree. And I didn't know about all the terrible things that he's done. I did mention a statement put out by Ireland Baldwin and a statement put out by Adrian Curry. And, I believe that both of them have the right to feel the way they feel, whether it's positive or negative. But I'm not here to come down on you, Perez. You've always been kind to me. I wish a total and full recovery for you, and I wish the best for your kids. The comments calling this karma have been especially painful. I wouldn't wish what my mother, Mario's children, or our entire family is experiencing on anyone, Lavandiera said. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do believe in karma, but I'm not going to be the one to say it here. I don't think that's what happened here. Lavandiera understands that some people don't like Hilton while others even hate him. True, I understand that too. Mario has publicly acknowledged the harm he has caused earlier in his career. In 2010, he went on network television and admitted to the outings, doodles, and other things he did were wrong, and he apologized repeatedly. Yes, he has. I've heard that many times. I was not aware of the doodles, but I was aware of the outings, and I agree that, that's not a cool thing. Lavandiera pleaded with the public for some respect as her family navigates this difficult situation. I agree. I am not asking anyone to forget or excuse any of that. I also understand that some people will always believe he hasn't done enough despite his efforts. She continued, I'm simply asking people to recognize that he has changed tremendously over the past 20 years and has genuinely tried to become a better person. I believe that, and I think he's been a terrific dad. I don't believe someone should be reduced forever to the worst things they did in their past, especially when they've admitted the harm and genuinely tried to grow. Whatever anyone thinks about Mario, his children, and our mother are innocent. They shouldn't be punished or tormented because of how people feel about him. Yes. Yeah. In March, the entertainment personality was hospitalized for 3 weeks after taking flu medication on an empty stomach. Hilton said he developed an ulcer and then a perforation and then sepsis. My stupidity landed me in the hospital for 21 days. It was the worst and best thing that's ever happened to me, he shared in a YouTube video at that time. I saw that video multiple times. Hilton was back in the hospital a month later when a massive blood clot prompted the need for emergency surgery. I remember that. A deep vein thrombosis in his leg. On top of his sepsis and blood clot, he has also been having trouble adjusting after moving from Vegas to Miami in June. I agree. I was worried about him when he made the announcement. I watched that announcement 3 times because I knew that something was terribly wrong. That was just so out of character for him just to say what he did in that video. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. Yeah. Additionally, we were told he has been suffering financially to pay his health bills. I agree. And I know he did say that he had insurance, but, so did I. And I've gone through stage 3 cancer and the subsequent side effects. And I'm living in financial hell because of medical bills. And at that time, I had 2 different types of insurance. Now I've been reduced to 1, contrary to some other person's opinion. Yeah, even with health insurance in this country, a serious medical illness can financially devastate you. Hilton's mom filed for temporary custody of his 3 children on August 7th as he continues to receive medical care. I agree with that. His sister also told Page 6 that she is grateful to Hilton's loving fans who have supported him throughout his career and during this difficult time. Barbara, I remember when he had the P.O. box or the P&B in L.A. If you guys can set something like that in Miami, I would love to be able to send my well wishes to him. What I can say on behalf of our family is that we're deeply grateful for every kind message, prayer, and expression of genuine concern, she said. The support has meant more to us than I can properly express. Yeah, like I said, if you didn't see the beginning of this and you're just coming in now for some reason, I doubt it. But if you haven't seen the lives, no, I've never met him in person. Yes, I've gone live with him a few times. On his social media, I believe it was his Instagram or his Facebook, but I think it was Instagram. I know it was since I recovered from cancer, but it was before I had my horrendous side effects. And he actually sent me a DM saying we should do this every week, and I declined just because I can't commit to anything with this medical train wreck of a body I live in. But this whole situation has hurt my heart. Perez, I love you, man. I love your kids. I've never even met them. I pray that they can recover from this somehow. Hopefully they're getting lots of therapy and all the love that they need from his adoring sister and his wonderful mama. Oh, I just love her so much. He's such a lucky man to have a mom like that in his life. Everybody, let's not be like the other haters and, say this is his bad karma. Let's just not think that way. I mean, I do believe that things like that happen, but I don't want to believe that for him. I just think he's in a really bad place. And, I'm not a doctor. I don't know exactly what caused him to go off the deep end. But, as his sister said, that just wasn't him. She saw the look in his eyes and the way he looked at her. And that just wasn't the Perez that I know. And Perez, man, I'm with you. I pray for you. Pull yourself out of this, man. There's a lot of people who still love and support you. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this channel, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm still a very small channel. 8,300 subs. That's all I am, folks. And it took almost 7 years to get to this point. So anything you can do as far as the likes and the comments, share it my way. Thank you. Good night.